ones, and welcome back to Megamix Review, the perfect showcase of my chronic procrastination. Today we'll be taking a look at the third Megamix released by Galactic Hole a few weeks ago, Maximum Mashup Megamix 3. Should be a fun experience for all of us. Galactic Hole has been teasing this for months now, and now it's officially released a couple weeks ago, as I said, so we're finally going to get to reviewing it. The only reason I started this series was because I wanted to talk about the first two Megamixes he's made. So now I get to talk about the third one. And since we're talking about it, I'd like to say this is some quality material. I was not as disappointed as I was with the second one, and I'm glad we're finally achieving quality from this beautiful boy. Now with this Megamix, it shows for either new viewers or viewers who kind of fell off his content that he's changed his way of doing things. He isn't really focusing on memes specifically for his channel anymore, and it definitely shows in this mix because there's like very few established mainstream meme songs in this mix. Now of course there are some. There was Flamingo in there, and I think there's a Death Grip song, but most of it is just songs that he has compiled that either he enjoys or thinks would work well with whatever he's mixing with. It's definitely a step in the right direction that he isn't focusing solely on established meme songs because, to be honest, there's only so much you can do with those. Now that he's focusing more on just songs, it definitely adds to the quality of his work. But the thing that I was most scared about was that he was going to do what he did with the second one, where he's going to focus on just trying to fit as many songs as he can into the mix, which he doesn't in this mix, so that's always good. That's an improvement. Because with the second one it just felt like noise. There were too many sources happening at once. But with this one, while there are some sections that do that, they work a lot better as sections. For the most part there is just generally like 3, maybe 4 songs going on at once, and that definitely works. It doesn't feel like noise, it feels like a mix that mixes songs together well. And all the parts that do kind of interlace 7 or 8 different songs, they work well because one, he has taken the time to make sure that all the songs fit with each other first, and two, he makes sure that they're like short sections that don't impede on anything else that is going on in the mix. And with those being said, this is definitely a step up from the second one, which, as I said, I was very disappointed. And for the most part, he definitely mixes the songs well. There is a couple issues, of course, but overall, most of the songs work with each other. Most of the complaints that I can give with the mixing is just general stuff, like key mashing. Every once in a while, he just doesn't change the key of a song, which I can justify, because sometimes you have to pitch something up so much that it doesn't sound good, even though it fits in key with the stuff. I can see that. I just personally would like it if they were in the same key, but it's justified in my head. So, but the thing that really gets on my nerves mixing-wise is volume. That's like a small thing, but it's still a big issue in this mix. Most of the time there's like one sample that's like a lot louder than all the other ones, so it kind of drowns everything out. Sometimes it's an acapella too, so that is even worse, because the point of a mashup is for those two things to work with each other, but you can't hear it working with each other if you can only hear the vocals and like barely hear the instrumental. But besides those two things, the mixing is perfectly fine. There isn't anything too interesting going on, just general mixing wise, besides those two complaints, but overall, that's really all I gotta say on that front. Another thing that gets on my nerves is the transitions. I complain about transitions a lot, but they really help making a mix work. Because if you don't have good transitions, then everything is just either abrupt or not smooth, so it doesn't flow well. A good part of transitions is flowing into the next section well. And with this mix there is use of more abrupt transitions, like just stopping songs and then fading into the next song, which I have complained about in the past, mainly because of the overuse of them. That's definitely a type of transition that you don't want to use too often, and Galactic Hole is kind of pushing the line on that with this mix. But for the most part, he keeps that well and balanced with actual smoother transitions. Although smoother might be saying too much, since the transitions in this one really aren't too smooth, but that's definitely a minor thing. They still transition well, they just could have transitioned like smoother or better, you know? But like overall, there isn't much to complain about majorly with this mix. It's genuinely a quality mix. The only thing really big I can complain about is that cha-cha slide section. I don't know why you did that. It doesn't really work with the song you matched it up with, and to be frank, why would you use that? It was a weird choice, and you can do weird song choices, but for that one it just didn't work for me. But yeah, besides that, it's a pretty good mix. There are flaws, but overall, it's quality. Now, since I'm assuming this is capping off a trilogy, I'm gonna ask myself, which one out of the three would I say is the best?
One, three. Pick number three, my lord. Oh, okay. Number one.
Yeah, it's the first one. I probably have less complaints with the first one since there's just generally less going on in the first one. But with what he did, the original one, it works. It was definitely the better of the first two, and it's definitely the better of the whole trilogy. Because everything pretty much works with that one, except for a couple sections, which again are minor things, because most of the songs in that mix work amazingly well with each other, and the transitions, well, not perfect, still work. And if I remember correctly, I did give it a pretty positive review. But like I said, while the third one is definitely quality, especially when compared to the second one, the first one just can't top it. It can't really be topped with any other Megamix he's gonna make, because it just feels more special to me, and plus it's just pretty good in general. But overall, that's really all I gotta say about this mix, so hopefully you agree with me, and if not, just why. But anyways, this one is pretty quality, so go check it out, link in the description. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the video, but I am dumb. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode of Megamix Review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.